Believe it or not, a lot of people have no idea on how to sell on the phone. Now, this is super important, not only for scaling my clients' businesses from 6 to 8 figures, but it's also been really important and essential for growing my own high ticket offers for my sales coaching program, Kaizen Closing, where I help closers, business owners, and entrepreneurs sell and scale more of their high ticket programs. Now, it wasn't overnight. I didn't just do a guru course and became like a high ticket closer or inbound closer overnight. It was done through experience, making a lot of mistakes, and just practicing what I preach as well. So I've actually used these skills to launch my first cohort, which made 8K off the bat without even mentioning it to my main email list as well. So I want to share the process of how I qualify and find the right people for high ticket programs as well. And guess what? You don't need to be salesy, sleazy, or anything like that. In fact, using these strategies will help you be a better problem solver and really help people and filter out the people who are actually ready to take action as well. And yes, a lot of people want to be closers and a lot of people don't know where to start. So what I want to do is help kickstart your career by sharing everything that I know about high ticket sales and inbound closing as well for your high ticket offer. Stay tuned. Let's dive into it right now. Whoop! So chances are, if you're watching this video, you're either a closer or entrepreneur wanting to sell more of your products or services. Now, the caveat here is that you know that you're selling a world-class high ticket offer, but you need to jump on a call to sell your services with your counterpart. And for you, making money is cool, but that's not the sole purpose. Really, for yourself, you want to not only make more money, but to really truly impact people with a one-on-one type of program. But what is the problem? You probably see that upcoming appointment in your Google Calendar that someone booked with you and you're just like, man, what the heck do I say to them on the phone? And you just get this feeling of like, man, I hope they don't pick up. I hope that I don't have to take the sales call. And the truth is, sometimes we get so caught up in our heads and the thought of selling or pitching makes you really, really nervous. So nervous that you're at a point where you're just like, I hope they don't pick up. Hey, if you feel this way, I've been here before. So in today's video, I'm going to break down how I close sales over the phone in 3 simple steps as an inbound closer. It is my goal by the end of this video, you'll leave with a simple process that will not only help you make more money, but it'll help motivate you to sell more offers that really impact people's lives, their businesses, and maybe for yourself, join a community of non-sleazy, hard closers like myself as well. Really, at the end of the day, closing for myself is motivating and truly inspiring the people who want to take action, but who have a fear of it as well. So let's kind of dive into it and break down the process that I use to get people over that hump of fear as well. So let's get into it. Today, we are diving into one of the most important topics for entrepreneurship, and that's sales. I know sales, the word sales can sound super intimidating or scary to yourself, but chances are you want more revenue and more sales for your high ticket program, service, or offer, not only to make more money, but like I said, to impact people. And no lie, it can be super, super intimidating, especially if you don't know what you're doing or if you're just really new in this field as well. So if you're nervous to the point where you're thinking, oh my God, I hope this person doesn't pick up, then I'm here to help. Because it does not have to be this way. After all, it is kind of painful going through call after call, not knowing the steps that you need to do to be able to close a deal. And we all know that if you're dreading these calls, chances are you might not have a solid process in place as well. So if you're watching this video and you're just like, why should I listen to this bald Asian guy? Believe it or not, I actually used to feel a very similar way that you are probably feeling right now. I remember back when I was a pharmacist, I was always looking for a way out of pharmacy, something that was lucrative, something that was a little bit remote, and something that had more to do with business development as well. And then I found digital marketing and the world of monetizing your knowledge through programs like courses as well. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I really want to do. And keep in mind, this was before the rise of online gurus as well. This was the early 2010s, 2006. And so I even spent about 10, 20, even 30K investing into online coaching, courses, and learning everything that I could from YouTube, books about copywriting, funnel building as well. But I invested all this money only to find that I was terrified to sell my services to other people. Now, of course, when I wanted to sell my services, it wasn't super apparent at first, right? I wanted to do things for free because it would always give me an out for not really delivering my work, because I believe the quality that I was bringing wasn't really sufficient enough to really get paid, if that makes sense. Then one of my good friends, they were like, hey, Kevin, we would love for you to do our email sequences for upcoming product launch that we have as well. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it for free. And they're like, no, Kevin, let's pay you as well. And I remember that moment, I was like, I actually have to deliver really good work. And it made me really nervous. Even when people wanted to give me money, I felt nervous asking for money. Isn't that messed up? But eventually, I really got sick of the working environments of pharmacy as well. It was burning me out from both ends. And I knew if I wanted to make this a real profession, I couldn't keep on offering my services for free until the end of time. If I really wanted a new business, I needed to learn how to generate revenue and how to sell and properly pitch my services as well to people. So I decided to dive deep into my fear of sales. At first, I took a guru course on high ticket sales, and then I actually got my first client and tried closing my first deals. And boy, that was freaking hard, because at the end of the day, I felt super insecure. It even got even worse. And I felt so uneasy asking money from people. It just gave me the jitters. But as I jumped on more and more of these calls as well, what I realized was that, it wasn't because I really sucked at sales. It was really just because I was actually lacking a process behind the madness. I remember listening to the top closers in the industry on this specific offer. And whenever I listened to their sales calls, it would sound almost the same thing every single time. And that's when I realized having a process just in place, just as an agenda, helped me kind of figure out and shift my mindset on solving problems rather than asking for money up front. See, it's only when you really identify the core root problem of someone's situation and when you really listen where you have the permission to present a solution, a personalized solution for their particular situation in their life or business as well. And after being on 6 different offers in my last 2 to 3 years and closing 1.2 million in my first 10 months with my partner, I had a pretty good idea of what makes a really good sales call and what makes a really one as well. And it doesn't matter whether it's digital marketing, email marketing, real estate, or business coaching, my process is typically the same every single time. And don't worry, you won't have to go Jordan Belfort style and take those penny stocks and jam it down their throat, right? You'll learn how to deep dive into people's situations, sell ethically, and get people to really desire what you're offering as well. So like I said, in today's video, you're going to learn how I maximize my time with people who want to talk to me and love buying from me because I am solving a very, very specific problem as well for them. While I've used the skill to sell my clients high ticket offers, I finally feel like I'm over the fear of selling. Sure, does it completely go away from time to time? Not really. It comes back for a little bit, but I've really gotten to a point where I feel comfortable not only selling other people's products, but my own products as well. And so, as we know, with every entrepreneur, you need to be good at 2 things, marketing and sales. And I'm going to show you how to get good at the sales part as well. So let's break down the 3 different steps that you need to close any deal. There's the setup, there's the set, and there's the close. Let's talk about step 1. It's called the setup. Now, have you ever had those situations where people just right off the bat on the call, they're just like, okay, Kevin, so tell me a little bit about who you are and what do you do? And do you ever go like, oh man, this person doesn't know anything and it's going to take a long time for me to sell them into my services or products as well. And this is the problem. Sometimes you waste so much energy on something that they could have just research upfront or something that you could have provided upfront as well. And so this is where the setup comes into play. The goal is, or the problem is, they don't know who you are or what you do. And what we need to do to solve this problem is, hey, build the trust with the product and brand. Now, how I like to think about this is almost like a college application. As I talked about in my masterclass, would anybody ever go on an interview asking, hey, who are you and what do you guys do? No, the interviewer would probably throw it back in your face for college admissions and be like, you didn't do your research. So the goal for us is actually to send the research up front and make it mandatory for them to review that information before our call. Questions like, who are you? What do you do? It just signals to me that they aren't completely serious and they just want everything up front as well. So what I like to do to filter out the curious versus serious and really conserve my energy and maximize my time before the calls is really to send out 1, a VSL or positioning video and your testimonial as well. I usually have them review at least one testimonial. The positioning video or video sales letter really breaks down all the specifics of what we do. Like if you have an online program, it breaks it down week by week. It breaks down the people, the processes, the tools. It does all those major things and answers a lot of the major questions that most people have as well. Because here's the truth, what happens if you go on and explain every single little bit, and guess what? They're not interested. There hasn't been enough desire created. One of their major excuses are going to be like, hey, I just found out about this. I want to do more research as well. See, these people are not ready to be sold as well. That is more of a marketing problem and brand awareness. They need to be moved up funnel or top funnel, tofu, right? And so they need to be doing their research. The people that you're supposed to talk to need to be converted as well. They want to know the scope of work. They want to kind of know more of the details, but they have a good idea about what your brand is and what product you actually offer as well. So let's dive into step 2, and it's called the set. So after you send them that information, they might have watched that video in its entirety. Maybe they even took notes, and they watch the testimonials to kind of see like what your process is kind of like. You know, the next problem that we need to solve is like, hey, do they have a true need? And are they in the real position to utilize your services as well? And the goal of a really solid set is to determine their need and really do a needs analysis about what they need as well. Where are they starting from and where they're trying to go? And this is probably the most important part, because when you try to understand your counterpart's needs and challenges and what they've done before, it actually builds trust throughout the process because you're taking the time to understand their situation. You know, if a doctor were just to give you pills as soon as you hop in their office, depending on what kind of pills, you might be super happy. But, you know, chances are you probably would not trust your doctor in terms of fixing your problem because your doctor hasn't really listened to you at all. And so what was really interesting in terms of sales, you know, recently I actually went to Costco and this guy was straight up pitching me to switch my internet as well. You know, the truth is I'm not interested. I am not that guy who he should be wasting his time with. And I'm sure the guy at Costco was super, super nice, but I'm not in really a position to switch my internet. I'm here at Costco to buy some hippie organic vegetables and buy some hippie organic macadamia milk too. Personally, I am not invested in investing my time to talk about a solution that isn't relevant to me as well. So my thing is, don't be like that guy at Costco. Really understand what your counterpart's needs are as well. They are taking the time to book with you. And so it's our goal to really understand their situation as much as possible. So what you need to do instead, don't pitch, don't present your solution. You know, instead understand their solution, understand their situation with tactical empathy and honestly some TLC. Actually care about your person as well. And this is what the set does. You're asking questions like, what are you trying to achieve? What are some of your challenges that you're facing hitting this goal? What have you tried so far? How long have you wanted to hit these goals for? How about their financial position as well? You know, these are all relevant questions because you need to see if you have a solution that fits their needs. And this is what we call a product market fit. And this is what the set does as well. You can do it on the first call, or you can combine it with the close and do a 1-call close. But my recommendation is probably better to do 2-call close. You do the set call first and then move on to a close call. But you're just wondering like, man, what is the close call? And this leads me to step 3, the close as well. So at this point, your counterpart has kind of spilled their heart out to you. They've talked about what sort of challenges or goals and all that with you at the moment. But does your counterpart really know what to expect from you and what you're expecting from them as well? And this was pretty funny. Back when I was first closing, I thought, hey, all they need to do is watch the video, go through a discovery, and then ask them how this is going to help them, and then bang, they're sold. But I was wrong about that last one, especially when your client doesn't have strong personal branding. Things aren't as easy. And they ask like, what do you mean? You haven't told me anything as well. And that's when I realized I had no idea or zero idea of what scope of work was and the expectations as well, because they never clearly laid it out. So the goal of something like a close call is to determine an agreed upon scope of work and expectations from both people as well. And how you do this is you lay out the people, the processes, the tools that your solution is going to bring to the table to solve their specific problem. And the key to this is not just reading off a script, being like, hey, here's everything you get, but the real skill of a good closer is personalizing it to them. So for example, I had someone someone who was really interested in doing this real estate program. She was in a corporate job, her fiance left her, and she was left with a 9-year-old daughter as well. And she really, she was working like 80 hours per week, and she really wanted to take her daughter to Disney World, especially celebrating after her first wholesale deal. And what was really interesting about that was talking about how just one deal could not only pay for her, like if she gets a $15K assignment fee for wholesaling, just one deal could not only pay for her expenses for 2 months, but also take a trip to Disney World as well. And she would be in a position, if she could make a deal happen once every month, she could be in a position where she could actually leave her job. And that was super major to her as well. And so it's important not to only present the people, the processes, tools, everything that you're going to provide to them, but you want to personalize it to their specific situation as well. And the goal, again, is to not only tell or explain what we're providing, but it's a two-way street. I always ask and clearly outline the expectations that we expect from the other party as well. And on all my calls, I usually say something like, hey, we're all about expectations up front. I'm sure from your end, you won't want surprises on your end, and neither do we from our end as well. Does that sound fair? And so I always lay that out as well. But then the goal is to make sure that all the expectations are clear. And then, hey, ask them, hey, is this something that you would like to do? Is this something that you think that would help you hit your goals? Is there any reason why you think you would not be able to hit your goals if we were to move forward as well? And that's when you ask, hey, let's collect the investment and we'll start immediately. So those are the 3 steps that you need to close any deal. If you're really into high ticket sales and want to go deeper into how I sell high ticket programs and offers, believe it or not, I have a free masterclass where I break down the 3 steps on both how to build a high ticket program and how to sell a high ticket offer as well. I go into detail about how I set, and close my deals, along with what I say on the phone as well. Now, honestly, I actually had someone who recently went through my masterclass and he took over 8 pages of notes. He wasn't sure if he wanted to do high ticket sales or not, or inbound closing, until he took that masterclass. And my recommendation to you, if you're wondering if high ticket closing or inbound closing is for me, what I recommend is go through the masterclass. If it puts you to sleep, not for you. But if it makes you more excited, hey, you have a chance at this. And if you want to work with me as well, we talk about it in the masterclass, but focus on the masterclass. I highly suggest that you check out kaizenclosing.com/masterclass. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay bold, stay kick-ass. Peace, mother people. Bye.